Welcome to the Lander Bet Sports Betting Live show on a Monday. Got 10 games across the association here. Interesting times in the league. We got the All-Star break coming up, so final games are going to tip Thursday, and then we'll get into other stuff, obviously, until next week. I'm going to let you all jump in here. I really want you guys to kind of drive the show today. Bring your bets, jump in the comments, let us know what you want to look at. I might freeze from time to time. The computer is under repair right now, the main one. We'll make it work. No worries. I'm going to be sharing my screen here. We do have live show producer Maddie on deck as well. We're going to be looking at some stuff on the model, as always, on the SwishLand dashboard and on the PropsMadness to help us look at a couple things too. Let's bring Maddie on. How are you feeling today, Matt, first of all?
Man, I'm doing well. I think I went like 7 or 8-2 yesterday, and I
Very nice.
swept the Super Bowl, so that's a W.
Oh my man, I know you had that nice ticket on the Hawks to win it there, right? With plus 350 or so for that one. So that's nice. That
Absolutely.
felt good. Yeah. And then that's great to take advantage of a day where no one's really betting on the NBA and all the games start early. People on the West Coast are barely waking up as those games are tipping off. So you take advantage of some sleepy lines and you have a good day. I love that for you. Let's go ahead and share some of this stuff here. I'm going to get into what we've got. What I have on my card, but like I said, definitely feel free to drive the show here. You know that Swish is in the comments as well. Where's Swish at? Here's one from Swish. He's going to be in there. If you want to tag him, that'll help him find the comments that you guys are putting in there to ask him about what we're looking at on the dashboard, so that you can just get it directly from the source rather than have to go to the model itself. This is the man who put his brain inside of a computer and then figured out how to give it to you guys in a way you would understand, hopefully. So tag Swish there, and then tag at the Matt Stevens can be really helpful if you tag him so that he can find your comment, and we'll bring that stuff on screen. I don't need to feel the need to go game by game. I think we can just go wherever you want to go. And I know that no one's going to have the same game from the guy who put a comment in before him. So let's not even try and mess with that. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to kick it off with a bet that I like so that we can at least start in a game there, and we'll see what happens from there, essentially.
Sure.
All right, cool. Did you get anything down on your card yet? I just want to be clear.
I think I might have 3 bets down. I definitely bet Lee Santos over 11.5 points earlier today. And then I took him for 15 plus for plus 165 with a bonus bet I won from the Super Bowl. So that's a W.
There you go. There you go.
That's
money.
Nurkic over 10 rebounds and Ace Bailey over 14.5 points and assists.
Hell yeah. Ace Bailey 14.5, Nurk on the boards 9.5, and our man Guy Santos here on the points, right? You got this 11.5. I think it's 12.5 everywhere now. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So you got a nice look there for Mr. Santos on the dubs. The thing I like about Guy is that he had 5 fouls in this game right here, in this last game. So he did get a depressed 26 minutes, still put up 15 points on a 23% usage, had 8 boards. And since he's entered the starting lineup, which would be these recent games right here, his volume is so high, you could basically project him for 16, 6.5 boards, 4.5 dimes. Feel pretty good about all the lines that he still has available. Probably one of the last games, if he does overperform once again, that will get such good lines for Guy Santos. So I took him on the points at 12.5 for plus money. And then I also took a little 15 and points and 4 dimes for Guy Santos, whose potential assists are high enough that I like them. I think he is good for about 8 potentials. I think that should be about where it's at. And the model's agreeing a bit of an uptick based on recent stuff where he did have like 11 potentials against Phoenix with his 7 dimes there. So I did take him to get the 4. It was just way better odds. It was like plus 500 versus the like plus 300 if you just stayed with the 3 assists. So I altered both of those things and put them up there. But how the comments looking, man? Anything that might draw interest in any of the games?
They do not like Utah.
No one likes Utah.
No. They think I'm crazy for betting on Utah, but I'll take it.
Right. So this is in reference to the Nurk bet.
I think it's in reference to Nurk and Ace. But there is a comment in this game, by the way. I just saw it. Do you want to slide to Jaren Jackson over 17.5 PR?
Oh, in
Big
Memphis.
O World. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's still on Memphis. We have to make sure that we know where every player is that we're going to be talking about here. Yeah, Memphis. Did someone brought that up, you said?
Yep. Big O World 365.
Got you. I'm coming up on it. There we go. GG on the PR. So the GG look, always looking for a bit of whatever you guys have. If you have any thoughts on why you like GG, always here for that too. But GG PR 17.5. Yeah, we have him call it 14, call it roughly like 19.5 on the projection for GG. So you get a bit of an uptick there. The minutes, everybody's at 28 because the model's just like, well, they're playing everybody. And like Ty Jerome, we know is not playing more than about 20, 21. Same for Scottie Pippen. I believe he's still on that level of a minutes limit. And then GG's like comp for time. Everybody's each other's comp for time. There's like all guards and then bigs, right? So GG's actually in the spot of like only one of the only sort of tweeners that you trust. If you consider Taylor Hendricks a 5, wild times out there in Memphis. I would say you're crazier for betting on too much Memphis than you are betting on too much Utah personally. But if we look, I'm gonna pull GG up here because I haven't seen much.
Definitely the same problem
for both.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like the rotations are just insane. And I agree with you too, the sentiment, because it feels like for Memphis in particular, everyone is running the same 26 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The boards are kind of interesting if there's anything. I mean, even at like he's recently had 8, 3, 7, 8, right? In the last 3 of the last 4, he's gotten at least 7 boards. And it's still at a 5.5 recent number. Because what that's saying is, even though he's gotten boards, the rebound chances haven't been that high to bring this number up. Like if he still has the same amount of rebound chances that he's been had moving forward, then you would still only project about 5.5 rebounds for him, which is like, let's say 11 potential rebounds, right? I don't think that's a ton of edge. I think it's probably 5.5 for GG right now in this game. Let me see if he's at the 11.5 points, 5.5 boards is even money. I mean, you could play that against a bad rebounding team. And then if you like the points as far as the matchup goes, spot up shooting, for example, I suppose is okay. Actually, this year, I guess they're better against the catch and shoot. Still bad against spot up. Yeah, I mean, GG's not a bad play. I do like stretch bigs against the dubs, guys who can shoot on the catch and shoot. And then are also going to be able to get boards and offensive boards. I don't mind the rebounds. I think that might be where your bigger edge is. But yeah, no qualms. Does that make it? Yeah, 17.5, right? Yeah.
Yep.
No qualms with just taking the PR. It's a nice recent hit rate. I can see that too. So keep in mind the potentials. Yeah, they have him at about 18.5 on the recent alone. So I'm with it. I think GG is a decent look at 17.5. I'll probably stay away from that one. But one thing I wanted to say about Utah real quick, just wanted to get one comment in there, which is that Utah, I think, is going to be predictable in how they play the fourth quarter moving forward, which is what they did in the last game. They basically played here. I have it right here. This is the fourth quarter minutes for the last game for Utah, right? You've got Ace and Isaiah Collier and Flip at the bottom there playing the same, all playing like basically the whole quarter. This is what we talked about. Everybody talked about after this game was the Jazz were up by 7. The Markkanen and Triple J had a combined like 49 points. They didn't play the fourth quarter. They lose by 3. These were the guys that played the fourth quarter. I think you live bet this. I don't think there's much to do with it before the game, but I think this is a live bet special where you look at what Ace and Flip and Collier all have as their live lines, maybe in the second quarter. Any time before the fourth, if it gets lower than what their original lines are, I like that as a live bet for Utah based on that's what we can at least project. And that's how we can use the information that they are going to consistently tank in the fourth quarter as much as they can. And we can use that to our advantage moving forward. But you hit Nurk, and I just wanted to let you finish off like 10. He's at a 10 projection. You're not worried about the wonkiness. Like, let's say he plays 24 minutes. Does that scare you away off the bat if you were projecting that?
I think I'm trying not to get in my head too much with the rotations and the tanking of it all. I've been really trying to focus on, is the number incorrect or is it correct?
Gotcha.
And if I'm getting like yesterday, Mitch Rob, right? He has sold us 2 straight games, I think. He was running hot on potentials, and there's reason to believe that he was now running cold because he wasn't running as hot. I got a 7.5 rebound line for Mitchell. I had to take it. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the same thing here, right? This number should realistically be like 11.5, like 10.5, 11.5. I would think, just in general. Like Nurk is that guy in that way. And so 9.5, I just have to take, especially I got it at plus 100. So
and it's moved.
It's a no-brainer in that way for me.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. I like the conviction in being able to just look at the number and know, okay, there's probably going to be less than like 32 for Nurkic. There's also a world where he plays 32. Absolutely. So if you just take the volatility out of it and you play the number like that, then I can get next to it. So what else do we have in the comments? Anything that stood out to you?
There was a lot of JJJ stuff. A lot of it.
Oh, Jay.
Everyone.
Yeah.
For the record, I thought 17.5 points. Is that what it was at? I thought that was very, very beatable.
Let's see. Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, 17.5 points.
And it's say again?
17.5 points for JJJ.
Let's pull up. All right, cool. Just want to see. So he had 22 on the 17 shots last game. So that's his usage, 32, 17 shots, 22 points. I mean, that's a good amount of shots in 25 minutes. That's why you have such a high usage for him. I guess, yeah, the model has him up around 21, and this is still at 17.5, playing the idea that he's not playing the fourth quarter, whatever happens. So if he doesn't play the fourth quarter and he played 25 minutes again, do you like 17.5 points? I don't see why not. Just
by the attempts alone, I think I do. Miami plays really fast.
Right.
That's another reason too, right? I like Nurk is because the attempts and the pace alone allows for a lot of rebounds.
Right. Yeah, this is why I think the opponent analysis. So if you go to the full projections here on the dashboard, and roster just has the full list of projections, but if you go to the matchup tab right here, when you go to opponent analysis, Miami's such a great example of why this misery index is actually really helpful and a bit more helpful than maybe just defensive rating, just opponent rebounds, total, anything like that. This is looking at basically the tempo that the team is playing plus all that stuff. So for Miami, they're actually been the number 1 defense in the last 5 games. Look this up earlier. They've also been the number 8 defense in the last 15 games. So they're a very good defense on the season. They're 6th best. So it all adds up. Yet still they give up the 10th most like scoring opportunities, and they give up the 7th most rebounding opportunities. So even though they have one of the top defenses in the league, because they play so much faster than everybody else in the league, they also give up way more. So that the totals are going to be in a nice spot. It's still a pretty good matchup for opponents, including guys like Nurk, everybody that we're talking about here. So I'm with all that. And then for Jaren Jackson, that's another thing why, let's say he doesn't play this 36. So if he plays 25, that's basically 10 minutes fewer, 30%. Yeah, you're down at you're definitely down at about 16, 17 and a half. That does seem pretty fair for him if he plays that many minutes, but that's a really high usage. You get a little bit of bump. If you take the bump from the opponent and all that, I'm with it. I'm not betting Jaren Jackson Jr. myself, but I'm certainly not talking anybody off of it. So, all right. Anything else in this game or anywhere else?
I don't know where it's at. It was a while ago, but someone was asking about Collier RA. I think it might be too high. I haven't looked at it myself, but I know the assist alone we're at 11.5. And the one thing you definitely want to be mindful, it's at 15.5. Good night. The one thing you want to be mindful of is when you are betting these lines, asking yourself, what was this line just a week ago? And I guarantee you a week ago, it was not 15.5. Not saying he can't achieve that.
Sure.
But you're putting yourself at a disadvantage betting it now and not betting it a week ago. Yeah. And so like the diminishing returns in that over the course of a betting season or 2 years or 3 years is not very good, I wouldn't imagine.
That's called EV betting, or not EV, if you're doing what you're talking about. Yeah, I fully understand what you're saying. So that's why the model is so helpful, is it does anchor you in like, well, okay, you're saying what was it a week ago? And actually in the updated version, we'll be able to tell you that here shortly. But for now, you can just look at fair market on the season. These numbers down here called fair market is essentially like close enough to what's the average closing line adjusted for opponent and things of that nature, right? So the adjusted fair line for him is 9 points, 3 boards, let's call it, and like 7.5 dimes. That's considering about 28 minutes. And that's about what his lines are, according to what the market's betting him at, when he plays against the most average team in normal circumstances. So, which I don't know what normal circumstances are for the Jazz this season, but whatever they are, this is what he does in those situations. So I think like you talk about 10 RA, then you bump him up to, let's say, 36 minutes, you're still getting to like 12 and a half, 13 and a half as a number that you might say is reasonable. What's that?
To be clear, the assists are at 11 and a half by themselves. The RA is at 15 and a half.
Right. Yep. No,
okay. I thought you said 11 and a half for the RA.
No, what I'm saying is what you do is you take his RA right here and go, this is roughly 10,
okay.
right? Let's say this is 10 in 28 minutes. Let's say you bump him up just based on the minutes he's going to be playing from 28 to 36. And you say in 36 minutes, even if that is the case, he should still be at about 11, 12 and a half RA as the fair projection for him in a vacuum. This is Miami, good opponent. Maybe you get him to 13, 14 and a half RA. You're just really like at 13 and a half, I'd be like, let's talk about this. At 15 and a half, I'm just like, we don't have anything to talk about, especially if he's not playing as many minutes or his numbers don't go as high in the first half. And then you know that he's playing the whole fourth quarter. So because he played 32 minutes in this game, which means he played 20 until the fourth quarter, right? Like you're going to have depressed numbers. I don't think there's going to be any live numbers that are going to be like, we expect Isaiah Collier to play 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, so we're inflating the live number. I think you take his stuff live just to finish the point. So I think unless anything else was like calling to you from this game, we can't move on. We haven't really talked about Miami, which I don't know if there's anybody talking about them.
I didn't really have anything for Miami. I haven't really seen anything for Miami that I recall.
Swish like Davion. I know that at the very least. And what Swish was looking at with Davion, I actually have an image that I just want to pull up since I just have it right here. Davion's stuff was essentially didn't move compared to the rest of the market. So if I pull up Davion, while I'm doing that, if you guys are able to get to that like button, go ahead and give the video a like so we can get people, as many people as we can in here, spread the love. You know what I mean? We got 10 games. We're not going to have a full slate of games this week, so it's nice to be able to get this stuff going. But Davion stuff being depressed, if he's at 9.5, and we're talking about who's out in this, so no, all right, Norm is officially out, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
He's officially out. And then Pele and Tyler Hero are out. So Davion, so you're looking for like whose lines haven't really moved enough based on this, who hasn't been lifted enough. And Swish was talking about Davion, and I believe it was the points. But correct me if I'm wrong, Swish, if you're in the chat and want to correct me in any way. But I think the Davion points are a decent look. Is the assist 6.5 or is it higher than that? Let me get to Miami. 9.5 has been what it is for him, and it hasn't moved. And I see what he's saying entirely. He's on Miami, so yeah, okay, thank you. 3, that's 9 potentials there. Points, yeah, only dropped 5 in that 31-point win. 5.5. Wow, that's not a very large spread here. Yeah, I don't know where to go with it specifically, but right. And he's just saying he likes like a lot of stuff in here, like Davion and Wiggins would be 2 guys to throw out there. So I can get next to that. Let's I don't have much for this one either. I guess there's some guys that I think could be found underpriced. Jaime is probably overpriced now.
Yeah, I think so
for a minute. Okay. All right. Let me see what's the next game I want to go to. Let me just choose a random comment here. Let's see what we're doing. Yeah, Swish is doing awesome, man. Can't wait to show you the stuff he's been working on under the hood too. My guy is absolutely cooking, frying, just coal, just charcoal and everything. Let's see. With no power.
Do you have anything in Chicago, Brooklyn? I saw a question about Dayron, and I was also thinking about it.
Of course you were. You're the Dayron whisperer. I know Swish likes Clowney in this game, which makes sense. If you look at Clowney recent numbers, then it's not going to look as good. And that's actually probably helping, what's his name, Noah? It's probably helping things stay down, is that Noah Clowney has not had as many minutes as of late. And now that there's MPJ and Joman missing, you can get maybe a bit of a bump and maybe even like closer to 30 for Noah Clowney. And then you feel pretty good about 14.5 points when he's had lines, as I guess that's pretty fair actually. Without MPJ and Joman, it's still pretty fair. So let's get I can see Clowney. I just want to put that out there for Swish. He had that in his Swish blog earlier. And then let's get to Dayron. Did someone have a question about a specific bet for Dayron?
I believe someone was asking about his rebounds, and I was also looking at his rebounds. To be clear, his points are expensive. I got them the other day at 8.5, and they've been as low as like 6.5 before.
Yeah.
Boards are just above fair at 7.5. But with Chicago, I really don't respect their interior. I think double is live here. I wouldn't like put my house and my mortgage and everything else on it, but like a point 0.1 unit sprinkle is not a terrible use of your money. And I think 7.5, though it's higher than normal for the rebounds, is still live. Just because I don't know that I like Jalen Smith is out, and I just think Dayron's that guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, Jalen Smith is out. He's not playing now.
I believe I saw that. Yes. Yeah, Jalen Smith is out.
Yep. So, oh wow. So is it Dayron versus Gershon? Is Gershon Yabusele the starting center for this? Oh, and Nick Richards is here too, I guess. I mean, I don't think that matters. I was just saying that. Nick Richards could be a look. Let me not get distracted. I get what you're saying about Dayron. And I'm gonna pretty much listen to you, but you're saying you're not even really talking about the points. You're just talking about the boards with Dayron.
I think points are live. I just think they're expensive. If I were going to take the points, I would just sprinkle the double, I think.
Got you. So this is just an injury impact look. I mean, you're not seeing Dayron Sharp's name here. We should talk about the Wolfman in a minute. I know you were talking about him earlier. This is pretty helpful, at least, to be able to see who benefits when each of these guys is out the most. You'd probably see, you'd see Dayron Sharp's name in there if it was Nick Claxton, obviously. So that would be the guy that would be impacting him a bit more. But the point too is overall there's just more usage and minutes to go around without Cam Thomas, and if Dayron Sharp's out there without those guys. So the boards, like if you just want to play a bit more on the matchup, I just want to go to Brooklyn for a minute, take an overarching view of this. Love the Wolf at the top here with the minutes getter. A lot of even minutes. And then, if you have Dayron at 23, like that's on the high end for him.
Yeah.
And if you like 6.5 for him in 18 minutes, have no problem liking 7.5 for him in like 23-ish minutes, and with the potential to go more. Chicago going to be a really good matchup all over the board, just opportunities everywhere. They play the 7th fastest pace, and they have the 5th or 6th worst defense in the league when you look at the misery index here. So liking all that kind of stuff. Big, he's just gonna be the biggest dude on the floor when he's out there. So I think that makes sense for Dayron. The boards is what Maddie's talking about, and then a little sprinkle on the double as well, just because of the ability to get the 10 boards. And then the points would probably come along with some offensive rebounds for him in addition.
Yeah, if you could get like a 9.5 points live, I don't hate it. I don't want to bet 10.5 though.
Yeah, for a guy shooting all twos, makes sense. This is still probably the worst rim defense in the league. There you go. Yep. Still the worst, right next to the bucket. Vooch, no Vooch, doesn't matter. They just don't even have a center anymore. So good luck to Pat Williams and Gershon Yabusele, who will be much shorter than all of the guys they go up against. All right. Yeah, I'm good on that. I think Danny Wolf is at least an interesting look. I'm not in like a giant rush to bet on Danny Wolf in 20 minutes. I
think Danny is really expensive. I just bet Danny and Dayron points over 10 the other day for like plus 360. So the fact that Danny Wolf is at 12.5 points at like flat money is crazy to me.
Yeah, because you just got him so much cheaper. And we're getting hella plus money for it. So I get that. And boards, I'm just not in a rush to do that. So going all the way back to, let me just go to a random spot, see if anything stands out. And feel free if there's some comments that you saw.
I saw Swish mention Portis, which I have Portis written down, and I have one other play in the Magic Milwaukee game that I'm considering.
Game. Let's get to it. Magic and Milwaukee. All right. Bobby Poe, 17 is the projection. If Swish made the model, the projections are going to like Bobby Portis. You can bet your ass on that. I'm joking. This is all math. Where's Bobby at right now? Because 17 and a half is not where his number is, right? Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, 12.5 is just weird. Like, I know he did not start last game, and he's projected not to start tonight. But like 12.5 points is weird, especially if you consider. Like we talked about this last live, but like Orlando's defense isn't what it was last year. On top of that, if you're putting him in with the second unit, like he's going to be the primary shooter, I would imagine. And then also he's going against the second unit of Orlando. Like I'm just baffled by a 12.5 number.
And I think Wendell Carter is at least questionable still, right?
Yes.
He was recently.
Game time.
He's still game time, which adds up. nothing here that's gonna. Oh yeah, and Jalen Smith was ruled out since the show started, so that helps me. Game time is great. We love game time decisions around here. Bobby Poe, even just in his recent stuff, I mean, he's been playing minutes, so I think 20. I mean, 20. Bobby Portis at 11 or 12 and a half points in an easy matchup is something I would take if I was like, well, he might get 20 minutes. Like, okay, I'll take Bobby Portis. He just had a 32. Yeah, I tease Swish about Bobby, but then you look at 32% usage in 26 minutes and you go, maybe your bias is based in some facts, which is this dude is just going to pull. And this is not a good defense. That's somehow, I think, worse than it was. I can't imagine it got better.
I'm going to let, since he's starting the second unit and we know that,
yeah,
I'm going to let him just sit on the bench and then bet him live at, even if it's still at 12 and a half. If I can get a better, if I get just a slightly better number than 12 and a half, I'm taking it. But even if it's 12 and a half, I'm still smacking it live.
He's crazy, man. What a career arc for Bobby Portis, from just the crazy eyed, like, whatever you call him, like the security guard, almost like the bouncer who just came in off the bench to like just intimidate guys. And now he's like, do not leave this man open. He's going to shoot 20 times in 25 minutes. Yeah, I'm betting Bobby Portis. I'm going to have to take this. I'm gonna maybe.
If you want to put it down, I got you. I got something else I wanted to look at in this game.
Yeah, where would you like me to go?
So we were getting Suggs at 7.5 RA, and I was abusing it like 100%. I think 10.5 RA at plus 103 versus Milwaukee is worth it. I think Jalen is still cooking. This is even with Friends coming in. Friends is going to be on limited minute restriction, so I'm not super worried about that. I just think Jalen, he's been consistently good getting RAs, and I think versus Milwaukee team, he has the ability to go way above 10.5, and plus 103 is an incredible line, I think, or odds for this particular prop, I think.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I also like 14.5 points. I thought about taking PRA straight up, but I was like, I don't know that I want to combine everything. 10.5 seems like the best bet because the plus 103, but I like 14.5 points as well.
Well, let's do this then for a second, though, because Jalen's minutes just started to go up, right? And I don't know that Franz being around is going to mean that they go down very much. I would imagine that if he's up at like 30 minutes, like he's been, 29 and a 20-point win against Brooklyn, 34 in the close game against Utah. And obviously those are without Franz, but you put Franz in for still a 25-minute cap, right? So there's still plenty of time for Jalen Suggs. And my guess would be that Anthony Black sees a few less minutes than before Jalen Suggs does. So yeah, I can get there with kind of all of it. If he's at like 28 on the season-ish and he's at about 10 right there, and this is 10.5, right? And the model.
Yeah, 10.5 plus 103. Or that's what it was earlier. It might have been steamed, but
I spent a long time looking at this too and felt like I had missed the train, as we say. Like I didn't start betting him at like 7.5. I just, for whatever reason that day, couldn't get to it, and then it slammed, and then we never saw it again. But it didn't matter. 8.5 was still super doable.
It's only moved 3 cents on FanDuel, but everywhere else is plus one or minus 101.
Yeah.
And minus. So if you want to get plus money on it right now, it's the best opportunity.
No qualms. I still think this is a terrible defense overall. Can
I comment something really quickly? Iron Maiden brought up Suggs hit rate with Wagner is in the lineup isn't good. That's fair. I am not worried about that because 1, Milwaukee is that bad, and then 2, Franz is on a minutes restriction. So I'm not super worried about that. I mean, you're talking about Jalen Suggs. He's getting he got 22 against the Nets. He got 13 against the Jazz, 12 against the Spurs, 16 against, I think 10.5 is just an overreaction.
It's high, and it's like, it doesn't seem to matter if he gets the 30 minutes. So I just don't know that you bump his minutes down past 30, even with Franz back. And that's the key to me, is not like, is Franz necessarily taking too much away from him? Who knows? Maybe I should give more credit to him, but I think the defense sucking so much is fine. I'm fine with 10.5. Not totally sure I'll play it personally, but like I said, I just feel like I missed the bus. So I wasn't playing it at 8.5. But
and then last thing, just to answer Coop, Santos is what's scaring me with that. Scaring me is 11.5 points good. Yes, I've been betting this. I haven't lost a bet betting Luis Santos. Yeah, like straight up, he's good for. I would stop questioning at 13.5 points. I would stop betting it at 13.5 points, but I've been betting up to 15.
Yeah, while we're on the subject, then I know you probably wouldn't want to play this because obviously if you have an RA bet in for Suggs, then you don't necessarily want one for Paolo. I started to consider Paolo right as soon as I saw Wendell go down and get downgraded to questionable. I often think that a downgrade to questionable from not on the report in the middle of the day on game day is not a good sign. That seems like it's like a 70% hit rate. That guy's not playing. So you take Wendell out, but you've got Mo in as well. Moritz Wagner. We don't have him as Moritz. We have him as Mo. We're not going to get any help on that from Mo. And we still have Goga. I guess I'm trying to find some sort of usage uptick somewhere if Wendell is not in officially. And what his rebounds are 8.5 plus money. Has not been doing that recently. All right, let me get off this then. I don't know how that'd be there with it. You have thoughts?
I will say Swish likes Paolo and Desmond Bain points. So and I agree that they seem light. I think Desmond actually got bumped to 18.5. I think he was at 17.5 originally.
Yeah. Yes, he did. And I was actually looking or drawn to a potential under for him at 18.5. Mostly because when he's playing with both these guys, his usage drops like 3% from like 21 to 18 when he's playing with both Franz and Paolo. I mean, his numbers on the season overall, if you just go straight lines, like 19 a game. But I do think that that's a bit impacted by him rarely ever playing with both of them at the same time. Also, it's usually just one of them. So I don't know. I'm also just started talking out of both sides of my mouth. I definitely don't feel as strong about it as potentially he does to bet on it. So I'm probably staying away from anything on that though. And I would support the Suggs bet before I get into too much else for Orlando. And anything else that's coming in that drew your eye?
I'm not seeing anything. There was a Ben Carrot under 8.5 rebounds. I think that's a bit brave in my opinion. But Dyson Daniels ruled out. Good comms. Props.
Jalen too, right?
I
think JJ was ruled out.
He pull up Twitter.
Duren's in, Daniels out, Johnson out. That's what we got right there. Okay.
Do you want to go to? Do you want to go to Detroit, Charlotte?
Yeah, we can go there for a sec. I'll go to Charlotte for a second. I know that everything's going to tell us to bet Musa boards because 9.5 for Musa against the Monstars is still bettable. So what's Diabate at now? Ain't nobody calling him diabetes anymore. Put some respect on this man's name. Diabate, 17 recent rebounds. Basically, this is again saying based on his recent rebound chances, which are call it 30 a night, 17 rebounds seems pretty reasonable for him if he continues that amount of rebound chancing. This is a tough matchup, so you could still sort of bump it down if you want to in terms of the projection, but we have this at like 11.5. And his recent rebounds alone would indicate that we could have this at like 13.5, and that wouldn't be unreasonable. Detroit, surprisingly, this is something great about the opponent analysis too. Detroit's only 15th in the league in terms of allowing rebound opportunities. They're not a top level defense limiting rebounds the way that they are a good defense limiting points and assists. You can board up on them. Maybe it's because they've missed some shots. They're 13th in offense. Like they probably miss a good amount of shots that let you get defensive rebounds. But yeah, Charlotte, I think it's gonna be a slow, choppy, ugly game. Really, Charlotte's playing that way. Detroit's playing that way, and I think they both will. So I think rebounds are the play if you're gonna bet in this game. And I don't really know what's stopping me from betting.
I would argue against taking the over for the rebounds for the same reason you just said. I really respect both of these defenses, and normally you would think, if they're forcing missed shots, there's going to be rebounds. But I would also wonder how far this is going to go under, and I think that directly affects the amount of rebounds that's going to be available. And so, because of that reason, what's that?
The tempo too would keep those opportunities down. Yeah.
100%. And then the other thing that I was thinking is Asar is a madman for stealing rebounds. And I wonder if that's correlated to Jalen being down on Jalen Duren being down on rebounds this year specifically. Is him dealing with the other big man and then Asar just yanking them things. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying, I'm speculating with that. That's what's keeping me off of it.
Yeah, you're right. Detroit's like a tough matchup all around. It's not like a team that you really want to jump in on, but this is where we can lovably and affably call Swish a market whore, where he's just going to find the market inefficiencies and just play it and just be like, well, I'm playing that. That's a big enough disparity between what it should
100%,
be.
and that's profitable. I
You are too
imagine.
now. Yeah, you're turning into what? Let's call a spade here. You love to find things and going, well, that's just low. So let me go ahead and play this like a stock and not get my emotions involved or whatever. So I'm completely with that. So Musa's still a play for him. I haven't gotten it down yet. I think 9.5 at plus money is a great look for Musa. So no qualms there. Anything else that is being brought up about either side of this game?
Grant Williams under 10.5. Is he on either one of these teams? I can't remember.
Yeah, Grant Williams is on. He's been injured the whole season until like maybe 3-ish weeks ago for G Will. I'm not gonna have much for Grant Williams. I have not been following what his stuff has looked like here.
To answer your question, David, I am not. I'm scared of the amount of rebounds available in this game. One thing that I was looking at taking, yeah. The one thing I was looking at taking this game is Duncan Robinson over 10.5 points. I think it's right at being fair, but I still think there's a smidge of a margin here. And I think if there's going to be someone available to take shots, it's probably going to be Duncan.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything with the rotation that would, I think it's mostly been them healthy, right? Jaren missed this last game against the Knicks. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. I just wasn't paying attention on Sunday. Tobias out. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if there's been enough of like these guys have been out and that's been taken away from his usage and now he's got more usage. But if the model's at 25 minutes, you good with that for a bet on Duncan?
Let's see here. I mean, just the number I'm cool with, but let's just give him a 23 to 25 minute situation. Yeah, I'm cool with it. I mean, he's hitting this over 71%. Small sample size, of course, but
go 23 to 27 then.
Yeah. I'm okay with 10.5.
Yeah, you could, if you, that's crazy. 23, 27. Let me get to 27 minutes here. Let me try to actually not have the fattest fingers ever. See if the mouse works. Nope. 27. Jesus Christ.
His like projections are so strange. Or not projections, his like hit rates are so weird. Like if you look at him versus like the best defenses, he has an amazing hit rate. Versus the worst, it's very spotty. It's so strange.
That was the daft look for him. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. Yeah, let's get to something a bit more fun. I know this is just going to be an ugly game overall, so I don't know that we need to like mess with it too bad.
Sure.
But what about I have bets in the Sacramento game.
I was going to ask if you want to go there next.
Yeah, let's get to that one next. By the way, I just want to let everyone know too while you're in here that we're doing a little overhaul on the dashboard, but if you want to check it out, you can get a free trial up on the site. It's landyourbets.com. Get access to all the projections, all the tools. Also get access to the Discord where we're all in there talking about what we're doing. And there's a little bit more perks to being in the Discord for sure, which just comes with the trial if you want to test it out. And you can also actually just try the demo here. I'll just show you like this is just one game a night. So tonight is Cleveland at Denver. You can use like the full model. It's just for the one game, but it's all free. It's up on landyourbets.com. You don't have to pay for anything to get all that stuff. So highly recommend checking that out. There's opportunity to get a free your first month free too. If you sign up for any of the sports books in the description of the video, we'll get you a free month. You just need to let us know. It's if for anybody who wants to do it, just sign up. Like I said, there's Novig, there's whatever, all the exchanges and all the books. Sign up, let us know, and then email support@landyourbets.com. That's the email that you can hit us up at, and really for anything, but also if you just want to let us know you signed up for one of the books there in the description of the video. Happy to get you that first month up on the site here for free. Let's get to Sac. I did bet Dylan Cardwell, so let me just say that. Did you happen to do that?
If Hardwalk would give me Dylan Cardwell, I've been asking for so long, man.
Crazy.
They won't give me Dylan Cardwell props.
Who do you write to about that?
I'm gonna. Well, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna drive to Tampa and talk to one person. Talk to customer service.
Yeah, there you go. That'll go. I'm sure that's gonna go really well. Dylan Cardwell is playing 25 minutes. I don't think you should project him lower than that. I think he has a ceiling, like basically just on these last 3 right here, all without Domantas. One was with Domantas. Last 2 have been without Domantas. This game will be without Domantas. It is against a bad defense in the Pelicans. I don't want to poo-poo on the Pelicans too much. They're 15th, maybe 16th, maybe 20th in defense. They're not great. They're still bad. They're just not as bad as they were, where it was like they're up there with Utah. And I think like Memphis kind of replaced New Orleans as the bottom 5 defense. And New Orleans is just eked out of there. So just keep that in mind. They're not horrible, but they're still not very good. And Dylan Cardwell, I think we pencil in for 25 with that ceiling up to 30. Again, Matt pointed this out in the last live. I think it was on Saturday, perhaps, where it was like, this is the dude you paid. He's got his money. And it's a similar look with Neek. It's like these guys got I believe Neek has an NBA contract. Either way, Dylan does. And these guys are getting the minutes now. You can bank on 25 for the big man, whose recent rebound chances in 23-ish, 26 minutes are still more than 10 a game. And that's good enough the recent rebounds are about 20 a game, which is good enough for me to take him. He's still at 8.5 boards. I took the PR and for Dylan Cardwell, and I took the double, which was about 3-1 for Dylan Cardwell. What is that?
And to further your point, like the fact he's getting props as a guy who didn't have a contract previously until like 3 or 4 days ago, that says a lot.
Yeah,
there's just in itself.
Yeah, unless you're in Florida, then you're still not getting props.
I get other things, so
I know you do. It's just funny that you're like, the fact that he's getting props, except for me, is awesome. But that's not a Dylan Cardwell problem. That's a Hard Rock problem. The projections have him 24.5, which is what I'm saying. Double, 20-ish PR. I think it's all fair. I'm not worried about much in that bet. I understand the potential threats to the bet. I think at the end of the day, it's like the minutes are weird as hell on Sacramento, and at any given time, you could just not get out there. Potentially fouls. All of that is not enough for me to not bet on him. So, and I have another one in this game, but I want to see if anybody has anything in the comments you thought maybe we should get to real quick.
Someone said, is Trey Murphy in or out?
He's in.
Oh, okay. Trey Murphy getting big usage the last 3 games: 26 versus Minnesota, 44 against Milwaukee, 27 versus Charlotte. Although a high line over 22.5 seems good.
Who dat? Are you reading something?
Yeah, that is PioMy44.
Nice.
It's like 10 comments up.
Nice. Likes the Trey Murphy look and gave some good reasoning. It sounded like some good stuff. Let me get to that. Nice. Wait a second. I know that. I know that thumbnail.
I understand. Yep. I understand why it was so clear and precise now.
I know who this gentleman is. Trey Murphy getting big usage. Last 3 games, 26 versus Minnesota. You just read all this. I don't have to do it again. 22.5 for him. Yeah. And so the recent stuff would indicate 25.5. Man, it's tough to argue with that usage. Sheesh. Zion's always just there, but like that never stops me from betting on other Pelicans because he's never going to take more than like 13 shots, I feel like. Trey at 22. Sacramento's a boo-boo defense. I have no qualms with it. I almost am like now a little bit upset that I even took Saddiq Bey. Not because I'm really not. I'm never going to be upset that I bet on Saddiq Bey. I don't know why I said that. Even when Saddiq Bey loses, I don't care at this point because it's not very often. But I wish it was 16.5. I know why it's 17.5, and I still took it. And that would be the only fear that I would have with taking Trey. But also, Trey's usage was just up at like the 30s. So is Saddiq Bey's with consistency. These 19s were actually a little bit low. And the 19 against Charlotte, he went 2 for 12. So like he didn't really shoot even in the fourth quarter. Fair to him, it was like you didn't hit anything. Maybe you give somebody else a turn because you're not making anything. But even when he's shooting like 10 for 21, dude, he's pulling. So I love Saddiq as much as anyone. I'll keep betting him for that reason. But you can make the same argument for Trey, and neither of them have really super impacted each other's usage too much that you should feel scared if you like the number for both of them. Everything's going to look good against Sacramento. So I did bet Saddiq Bey. I do like that PioMy likes Trey Murphy. I think 22.5 is also bettable. You can kind of take your pick if you want between those two. So I don't think we did hit this game yet, so we'll definitely get to it. But also just like feel free to drop a comment about whatever. Like I'm not going to try to just go game by game as much as get to as many looks as we can that you guys have. So definitely tag at the Matt Stevens too, so you can make sure you get his on his radar a little bit. He'll be able to be able to
Wendell Carter's in.
Yep. Who's that?
Cardwell at 8.5 points plus 100 is a good bet, Fred. Wendell Carter is listed available to play.
Okay, cool, good. I hate betting on them anyway. This just came up, so it's right on my radar, and I forgot to put the comments. So let me just show you all that. Which do you guys like more in the game? Collier, PRA, Jaime, PRA. You feel Jaime is the better look because of the scoring potential, but Collier possibly gets more minutes and opportunity. They're not going to impact each other, obviously. Do you have initial thoughts on that?
I just noticed something. My initial thought is, honestly, to be transparent, I don't like either one of them. I think they're really high.
Yeah, they are.
That's my initial reaction. That's not to say, again, they're not capable of getting these lines. They clearly are. The line wouldn't be there.
Right.
You're getting diminishing returns when these lines adjust up and up and up and up. And that's the way Collier's lines has been. And Jaime, I've bet this guy consistently at 13.5, 12.5 points. And PRA, obviously a different story, but like I know a couple weeks ago, you and I bet this at 25.5 PRA with people out.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just difficult to get there in situations like that. And so for that alone, it keeps me off.
Yep. Especially when it's Miami and minutes could be coming for this guy or for that guy and not that guy. And Khalil Ware's hanging around. Like, yeah.
I was about to say, Ware has props now.
Does Ware have lines? Okay. Yeah. Yes. While we're making jokes about Khalil Ware, he has lines now. Let's get it.
Yeah, that is a monster look.
12.5 open. 12
double doubles plus 135 though.
It's just popping up. It's just taking time. It's time over here for me. Is this? Oh, okay. I'm not seeing anything unless this is still just taking its time.
It's that FanDuel for plus. Oh, they took it down because they smart. It was plus 135 for about a second and a half.
Yeah, now it's just you guys 12.5 points for him. He played 30 against Cleveland. This is why I'm also just kind of out on Miami. Let's not go back to this one real quick.
Alex, no, it doesn't. I didn't factor in Wendell in or out. I think 10.5 is just an overreaction to friends being in personally. If anything, we might get lucky and get a better line.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, sometimes there's a lot more people using PropsMadness these days, so I'm sure it's gonna work out. But let's get to what was the one I was just looking at. I did have, like I said, I had those two bets in this one that I did put down. I did put down Sadiq Bey on the points, and I did put down Dylan Cardwell PR and the double for Cardwell, who I keep wanting to call Caldwell. Dealer's choice, real quick. Let me see if there's anything between Cleveland, Denver, Atlanta, Minnesota, going kind of between those two games for a sec. Do you see anything in there? I'm gonna take a look too.
Let's see. I haven't looked at Cleveland, Denver.
I looked at it for a sec. I do. No news in that one yet, right? Because we were waiting on stuff for for Jamal is the big one there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at Minnesota, Atlanta.
Yeah, with Jalen Johnson out, I haven't gone back to it. So let's start there because I don't know what's up now.
Sure.
With this. And Dyson's out too. So yeah, so Nago straight up. Okongwu was probably good at 13.5 anyway, man. And now he's 15.5, 14.5 in some books, but yeah, mostly 15s. And then the boards are, I'm just not taking his boards. I'm not doing that. Threes I consider, but they're juiced. Yeah. 192. Rudy ain't bringing his butt out to the 3-point line to guard Onyeka on the 3-point line. So I think 2 goes in. If you want to take 3, I mean, you just lost value at my opinion. Jock didn't see minutes. So Jock saw minutes without Okongwu, but not with him. But now we have no JJ, and you've got a big Minnesota team. Isn't there a strong case for Jock getting like 25 minutes in this game with Okongwu getting 33, even if they go double big ever? I wonder if that is a thing that
I would, and this would be the game to do it too, just because of Randle, Jaden, Nas, and
I'm saying.
Rudy. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Saying the same thing, yeah, like a synonym. So we've got him at 9.5 too right now, but we have him at 18 minutes, and
JJ's out.
Yeah, and JJ's out, which is like it's going to pull through when I guess maybe I need to refresh, actually. I'll just refresh real quick. Give this a second. I'm starting to talk myself into Jock Landale props. Does that mean it's time to sign off, or is that reasonable?
Yeah, it might be time to hit the cell phone.
Just call the number at this point. But we have him at 9.5 and 7 in 18-ish minutes. And like, I think, like I said, there's That's going to be 4.5, 6.5 plus money. So it's starting to go up, but I think the
I was supposed
points
to
are
say that
slow.
leans to your point.
Yeah. Even his 1-3 is minus. Yeah, I'm not, whatever. But yeah, 9.5 in that many minutes. I mean, let's give him 23 to 27. What are you reading?
David said James Harden, born in 1989, playing in Denver at altitude today after Super Bowl. We should definitely all go under.
Wow, that's a really good point. That's a really, really, really good point. I'm here for the fading people in Denver. Wow, I love that look. This is not a huge edge. It's not a great matchup. I'll stay away and stop talking about Jock Landale. And let's go to Denver for a second. Then I just don't really bet Minnesota either. So I will say, if you're betting Atlanta, like, you don't have to be as scared of of Minnesota's defense as maybe you once did need to be. Maybe they'll pick it back up soon, but they've been pretty dog crap for a few games here. One of the worst defenses in the league for the last 5, actually 27th in defensive rating, playing at a bit faster of a pace. So there's overs to be had in the Atlanta Minnesota game, I believe. I just not really sure where things go. We can see if Swish has any thoughts. Would love to hear your thoughts on like maybe someone in Atlanta. But looking at this one for a sec, I still haven't bet on Julian Strother. If Jamal Murray's out, then we're gonna have CLV out the yin yang on Julian Strother, because he's definitely does the best Jamal Murray impression when he's playing with Nikola Jokic. So if we look at Strother, none of this is probably going to help us other than the recent stuff, because he did start to get a few minutes, but they're still relatively volatile. Because I don't know if, like, let me put it this way. I really like Julian Strother's game in general, and I think he's like big enough to not be taken advantage of on defense. But I don't know if I'm just in love with this 33 minutes that he played in this last game where they won by 16 against Chicago. And now they're going up against Cleveland, and that this tougher matchup, if Jamal Murray plays, you bank on like full minutes for Jamal Murray, and then that just relegates Julian Strother back to 17 minutes. And I don't really want to take him for 11.5 points against the Cavs if he's playing 20 minutes. Like, I want to take him for that if he's playing 26 to 30 minutes. I don't know if I can bank on that.
Yeah,
So,
that was my problem when you mentioned it in the group chat.
Yeah.
Quick note while we're just
please.
vamping for a second, and we don't have to go back here. I'm just looking at it. The model likes Randle today, points. It's very small margin, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Randle's probably in a good spot this game.
Jay Randle for the points?
Yeah, 20.5 is... I would just alt it down to 19.5 and take, like, if you can get like a minus 140, minus 150 at 19.5, I think that's really live.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we like his points for sure.
Swish likes his assists too.
Jay Randle. Are they 4.5 by chance?
What's the PRA? 34.5 PRA.
Yeah.
That could be the play. 33.5 PRA at FanDuel. Make every moment mean more, or whatever it is.
With Julius Randle's PRA. I'm gonna get back. T Wilson, I left that comment up so I don't forget about you, because I want to go back to that one real quick.
That's on me.
You're good. You brought it up. You brought it up first. Yeah, you got to it first. Jay Randle points, if it's 20.5 now. So you're saying if you can find the 19.5, then you like it.
Oh, I would just alt it down, or I like the 33.5 PRA.
If you can get that. Yeah, dang, it's kind of slow. But then you just put it all together.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the rebounds will be there because no Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks. I really was excited to bet on Jalen Johnson. That's annoying. Yeah, I get it. So Swish likes the assists a bit more. I wonder if he likes more at 4.5 than 5.5. I mean, I know he would. I just don't know if he likes 5.5. This is definitely a team you can assist against. Good opponent. He didn't do it much last game. Had 5 potentials. They got smacked last game. That's so weird. Yeah, I can see it, and I have no qualms with Julius Randle. I do want to get to Jokic in this Denver game, though. So what do we have here? Do we still have 10.5 dimes? Like, I think I want to bet on Jokic on the rebounds and assists, or rebounds or assists, or all of it, or whatever, more than I do points specifically. I know he could kind of like come in all of a sudden, but I mean, his shot attempts have been down enough that I'm kind of like, dang, like if he's going to continue on that pace, like I still love the rebounds and assists. Those are lower numbers, and 28.5 is pretty fair anyway for Jokic, even if he's playing full, which is what this number is about. Okay, so the board's at 12.5. The assists, I think like 10.5, I think is still good for him. I just mad that I didn't bet like 9.5 the other day. I just want to see what they're at real quick. 10.5 plus money, just still good. 12.5 and some 11.5. Like I was like, I might just bet 22.5 RA, which I don't think I've ever done for any player ever. But let me just take a quick look at the threes too, T Wilson, because I know I'm just out of control not talking about that. I'm usually just looking at attempts. So 13 against the Knicks, that's their drop defense. Cleveland, Jared Allen, I suppose you could say he plays some drop defense. As far as center threes go for against this team, like they're not bad by doing that. So I don't think there's much of a look there. If I'm looking for center threes, it's like drop coverage with the other squad, aggressive drop coverage. Like that's why he had 13 against the Knicks, because Mitch, Rob, and Cat are not going out there. They play drop defense. And then Joker's just open for 13 threes, which he made one, which is wild. But there's, especially with the odds where they're at, there's just nothing there for me. I don't know that I'd be adding that to like a leg or anything, but it could hit. There's not like an angle to bring me to it necessarily. So let's see. I think he's talking about the Poisson calculator. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah. David's got you. That one. Nope.
It's a difficult word to say.
Poisson. David just put the I in the wrong spot because he doesn't speak French.
With a P.
It literally means fish. It's the fish calculator. That's what poisson means in French. All right, let's keep it moving. This is not about French. Can Jamal Murray just be ruled out, man? Like, just don't play him for the next 2 games. Give us some other guys to bet on. He's tired. He's carried this team for like, 3-4 weeks? Give him a little bit of a break here. Let Jokic get all of his assists and rebounds, and let Julian Strawther score 20 plus points for us. I'm betting on Julian Strawther. I'm done with this. Because I could take 11.5, and we're just gonna have like he's gonna get up to 14.5 if Jamal Murray's out. He's the Jamal Murray replacement. I was a little bit scared of Christian Brown, but I don't think he's playing 35 minutes. I think it's just putting him in the starting lineup until it gets him there, right? Yeah. So if you give Julian Strawther 20 minutes, I think this is good. I think he plays. I guess that's what I'm worried about, and that's why I keep coming back to it and then remembering why I didn't bet it.
Yeah,
like all of these guys, Bruce Brown, THJ, Christian Brown, Cam Johnson, and Strawther are all there. 4 guys. Like, I guess if Christian Brown plays 25 minutes, you can give a bunch of those to Strawther, get him up to like 18, 16-ish, and then, I mean, Cam J's
This is
there.
how much do you believe your edge play is what it is.
Is Bruce Brown playing that many minutes? Where's Bruce Brown? Bruce Brown's not lined because he's probably coming off the bench, and so they're not even giving us his lines. That's crazy. Let me see about this Bruce Brown real quick. What's his minutes at? Let this load right quick. Maybe ours is faster then, because I don't think Bruce Brown's playing none of those minutes. But if he's in the starting lineup and it's just kind of confused what to do because there's been different starting lineups for this team, then I get that too. So 31, 38. This is without Aaron Gordon, without Cam. So this is the game that's going to be like today. It was against the Bulls. It was 31 minutes. Still only took 5 freaking shots, man. Bruce Brown doesn't scare me from taking away from his usage. I'm betting Julian Strawther.
You just gotta be decisive about it sometimes.
I know. I don't need anybody else talking to me about it. I'm just talking to myself at this point. I'm going for it in a minute. All right. What time are we at here? Basically at time. I'm just gonna keep running through the comments and we can just see if I'm missing anything. So the James Harden stuff.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, where do you want to do James Harden or what you were gonna say?
There was one comment asking us about to talk about the 76ers and Blazers game. Did you have anything in that game? We don't have to go there if you didn't have anything.
I got you. Yeah. Let's end on that after we just talk about James Harden for a sec. Actually, we'll end on James Harden. Because we're probably gonna laugh a little bit. So for the game I did, Philly, and we don't know if Denny's in or out, right? He's still questionable.
Let me go.
You can check that out, and I'll give my opinion on Joel, which is that Joel is just gonna be questionable every game, but I think more often than not he's gonna play. I think like probably 3. Like you can predict when he's not gonna play, and it's some form of back-to-back look ahead kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
What did you come up with? He's still. You haven't seen an update, right? So he's probably still
for
Denny.
No, there's no update for Denny.
Yeah, Denny's still questionable. But on this side of the things, I don't know why I can't bring myself to bet on Kelly Oubre. I mean, Paul George being out is enough for me to like Kelly Oubre at 14.5 points if he's still on that number.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the model likes him because he's still taking shots. Paul George is out. So there is like a clear, like when PG goes down, I mean, Kelly gets about 3 more points per game. He is averaging about 16 a night when he's playing without Paul George. So, and he's already at like mid 30s when he's playing without Paul George, with or without Embiid. So like all of it leads me to go like there's a decent spread here, a decent edge between him being predicted for about 16 and a half and this being at 14 and a half. Portland is a team that plays super fast matchup stuff for them. They're basically the 6th easiest team to get everything against. So like there's no reason not to like Kelly in this game, right?
The EV answer was correct.
Yeah.
My response to it is I think 14.5 is where I stop being excited to bet Kelly, even with PG out, to be honest. Like I like seeing 12.5, 13.5. If we're lucky and somehow there's a book slipping like Hard Rock does and gives me 11.5, yes, and yes. 14.5 is where I'm starting to like have questions about the threshold how comfortable I feel in. Yeah, 14.5 is just where I start questioning whether I want to take it.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just I can't guarantee that he is going to be taking a ton of shots. That's really I guess what I'm talking about minutes. Yeah. I'm talking about who's in and who's out, and I'm not really looking at just like the usage has a floor of 11%, 7% in 37 minutes. Like this game is he is capable of playing almost 40 minutes or that amount, 40 minutes. And a usage rate that has him take 8 shots or 3 freaking shots. And like all these double-digit shots are nice. And I'm just scared that I'm going to bet on him in that one. And I'm going to hate that I bet on a guy that took 8 shots to get 15 points. I'm going to hate that. So
I wonder how correlated it is. And I'm just trying to look at your graph here of him taking double-digit shots and double-digit margin wins.
Yeah, this Phoenix game, he was active. I know he likes playing against Phoenix. He used to play there. 19, 15, and yeah, there does seem to be some correlation there with the blowouts.
The point being, I think ultimately is Joel cooked, got him to double-digit wins, and then he got time without Joel in the court.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I mean, I think what it comes down to is with Joel out there, it's Joel and Maxey usage just gobbled up. And so like Kelly gets the scraps, but at the same time, like the scraps could go to someone else that game. And that's what it is. Right. And that's how you get an 11% usage for a guy who's playing 40 minutes is, yeah, well, VJ's out there too. And Quentin Grimes is out there too. And those guys are getting some of the scraps when Joel decides to not shoot or when Maxey decides to not shoot. So that makes it a little bit weird. Yeah. All right. One last time, if you would give that video a like, I'm going to go look at this James Harden stuff. I forget who it was that was like, wait, James Harden just played in the Super Bowl. Was it Mike or was it David?
It was David.
It was David. Yeah.
David. Where is starting alongside Bio? Oh. So I'm going to look at where props right now. So you can look at Harden.
Bam out of the Bayou.
Yes. That guy.
As Kendrick Perkins would call him.
That explains that 12.5 line.
Yeah, 12.5 and boards 8. Oh, so like double is live, baby. And it's not even that great of odds.
Yeah, they might have took that thing off.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna have to come back to that. I'm gonna quickly do James Harden loves strip clubs, and then we can get out of here. So James Harden's likes to party and he likes to have a good time. Did you see a strip club that had a big welcome sign that said welcome to Cleveland? Welcome to Cleveland, James Harden. Wonderful. Wonderful marketing. He's still at 21.5. That's always going to, is it 20.5? That's always going to sound low for me with James Harden, but you got to look past it. The other thing is, I guess Jalen is questionable. There's just not that many guys either, man. But he's playing in Denver, man. What's okay? Let's just do this for a second. James Harden stats in Denver last 5. Let's do 4 seasons. Nope. Let's do last 10 games.
The J.R. Smith.
Yeah, I know. At Denver, last 10 games. 28. I mean, already, I know we're going back hella far. Look at these points. Look at this. That's 3 straight with some boo-boo points. I mean, I don't know. There might be. This is the playoffs. My bad. Yeah. If it was game 5 of the playoffs, of course he's scoring 7 points or 6. Game 6. Never mind. Yeah, we don't have game 6 Harden. That's the correlation there. The regular season doesn't have the correlation unless it's post Super Bowl. We're getting very niche with it, but I think it's a good look, David. I appreciate that. So good stuff today, y'all. I appreciate it. We're gonna be I'm not gonna have a show tomorrow. We'll probably have some office hours for the VIP folks soon. Maybe we can get one more, you think, Matt, before break? I don't want to put you on the spot. You think it's a possibility?
When is break?
I think Thursday's the last day of games.
Yeah,
Like 4
whenever
of
we're
them.
not doing a live show, I'll figure in.
Sick. All right, yeah, we've been having some good finds in there, so we'll keep cooking in the VIP. Everything, like I said, is up on landyourbets.com. So if you want to check stuff out, we've got a demo, so you can just get a free version of this. You can also just get a free trial to test it out for yourself. Make sure you do connect to the Discord if you do come in. Make sure you check out everything that's on the premium tab as well. We have the Swish blogs up there with Swish's looks. So this is his thoughts on each of the games with some of the cool images that he's put in there with the from the dashboard for y'all, so you can see exactly what he's looking at. This is a sneak peek, by the way, of the updated version that's going to be coming here in a minute. Not going to be so granulated or whatever, pixelated, because we are going to have this is just a screenshot of a screenshot, but this is kind of the stuff we're putting up on the site. So this is under the premium tab. If you are testing the site out right now, make sure that you know that you're checking out the NBA premium tab. Make sure you're checking your emails too, because we're sending a daily email with the rundown that also has all the betting edges that we have down below. So we're taking the best projection edges from the dashboard, from the model, putting them right here for you, doing the same thing with the matchups, who has a good matchup, who has a bad matchup, and then the injury edges as well. So who's injured and who gets a big bump from those guys being injured. All that stuff is up on the site. Like I said, check it out and definitely come into the Discord and hang for the office hours. So appreciate you as always, Maddie. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, two things. Someone was asking me earlier where they could find my stuff too. It's going to be the Lanyo Bets VIP, and I wanted to clarify what office hours was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically this, but we all jump in a Discord voice chat, and me and Swish usually talk through a game, and then we'll allow room for other people to comment, and then we'll bring you up personally, and so we can talk through it together. And so office hours is really, really cool. And I'm not lying when I say like 3 straight office hours have been nothing but heaters. It's been crazy. That's it.
No, it's awesome. I love it because we spend a little bit more time on each one. You know, some people just kind of come and chill, don't necessarily have much to say, but they hopefully are getting something out of it. Because in addition to learning some pretty cool stuff, we found some pretty nice tickets here over the last couple of weeks. Those are also up. We have those just scrolling on the homepage. If you're ever I wonder if any of this works. We're definitely showing you updated sort of the W's that we have and some of the big hits that we've had in there. So looking pretty good, but appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Like I said, on your way out, if you haven't yet, definitely give that video a like. If you want to sub, definitely get the notifications on. We're going live with consistency these days, just not every day, but with the big slates for sure. Need at least 7-8 games, and we feel good about going live. And then I'll have an episode out tonight with looks for tomorrow early on, and then be in the Discord with everybody. So best of luck to y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Till we see you next. Happy betting.